Every year, Americans eat more than 50 billion hamburgers. The $2.8 billion frozen burger industry is based on our need for quick, easy meat that doesn't require a trip to the butcher. That's around 150 burgers per person annually, because life is too short for hockey puck burgers that taste like cardboard soaked in beef flavoring. We're exposing the 5 frozen burger catastrophes that are hiding in your grocery store's freezer today and exposing the 4 patties that are truly worth your money. Let's explore the frozen world of burger patties when you subscribe. Let's start with frozen hamburger villains. Since the 1960s, Flanders has been in the frozen meat industry, marketing its homemade patties as the convenient option for working parents who wish to provide something that tastes like real burgers without having to deal with the trouble of making patties from scratch. With claims of family recipes and homestyle quality, the package exudes wholesome Americana. Any culinary critic who has had the misfortune of tasting these monstrosities will tell you that what you're getting is cardboard. The patties don't resemble real ground beef since they are so highly processed and packed with fillers. They resemble soy protein discs with a beef flavor that are meant to deceive your taste senses. The corporate chemistry experiment is disclosed in the ingredient list. The ingredients include beef, soy flour, beef hearts, textured vegetable protein, and a coating that simulates the Maillard process that occurs when genuine beef is cooked on a hot grill. For what amounts to pet food compressed into patty shapes, you're paying burger pricing. The true telltale sign is the texture. The strange, spongy texture of these patties makes them feel less like beef and more like a kitchen sponge. The homemade coating produces a fake crunch that quickly gives way to a bland, mushy inside that tastes like someone melted bouillon cubes in sawdust. Flanders has routinely ranked last among frozen burger options in numerous taste tests. Tasting Table notes that the patty's strange coating and highly processed characteristics make them taste more like an industrial food product than anything that has ever come from a cow. Flanders is taking advantage of working families by passing off beef-flavored cardboard as home-style excellence. In their fantasies of authenticity, they hope that parents would be too hurried to notice that their burgers taste like processed beef products. Target's premium store brand response to Whole Foods, Good and Gather, debuted in 2019 and promises all natural ingredients in quality comparable to national brands. The clean label marketing language used to make suburban parents feel good about their supermarket choices is all over their frozen beef patties. The truth is a perfect example of how being all natural may nevertheless mean being dreadfully awful. The takeout claims that these patties have a chemical odor that indicates a major issue with the processing facilities and a dry, insipid flavor. It's a systemic failing and not quality control when your natural beef smells like chemicals. The patties are prone to overcooking and become hockey pucks that are difficult to cut with a chisel. Instead of being burger-like, the texture is routinely described as meatloaf-like, indicating that Target suppliers are employing fillers and binding agents to produce an artificially processed texture. When the final product tastes like someone combined library paste with ground beef and shaped it into patties, the all-natural claim is rendered useless. Several patrons have complained that these burgers crumble when cooking, making it impossible to eat them like a real burger. Target is selling frozen patties that would be overpriced at half the price by taking advantage of their premium brand image. They're wagering that suburban consumers will believe that Good and Gather equates to good quality, even though you're actually paying top dollar for inferior frozen beef. With a brand image that connotes quality, freshness, and Southern hospitality, Publix has established a reputation as a place where shopping is enjoyable throughout the Southeast. Their frozen beef patties claim 100% pure beef, free of artificial ingredients, additives, and fillers, just as you would expect from a high-end local supermarket. Customers frequently complain that the patties they receive are soggy on the inside, harsh on the exterior, and have textural issues that make them nearly unpalatable. The outcome of the cooking process is unpredictable. Burgers are undercooked and overcooked at the same time because some parts remain raw while others become leather. Bone fragments have been reported by several customers in their patties, which is not only unappetizing, but also perhaps harmful. When there are genuine bone fragments in your 100% pure beef, it indicates quality control difficulties that extend beyond flavor concerns to the realm of food safety. There is none of the meaty depth one would anticipate from pure ground beef, and the flavor profile is described as generic and dull. Burgers that taste more like cafeteria fare than premium grocery store meat appear to have been made from the cheapest cow trimmings. According to Tasting Table's thorough rating of frozen burgers, Publix patties are among the poorest choices since, in spite of their premium positioning and higher costs, they constantly fall short of their quality claims. Publix is using its reputation for high quality to sell embarrassingly expensive frozen burgers. They are using the decades-long commitment of their customers to promote subpar frozen beef, which undermines the integrity of their brand. With its 100% Angus beef patties that guarantee restaurant-caliber outcomes at home, Walmart's MarketSide brand positions itself as the premium choice within their grocery choices. The MarketSide label denotes meticulous curation and premium standards, while the Angus certification signifies superior beef quality. The truth is frozen patties that taste like old beef and are characterized by several taste testers as gamey and disagreeable. When the finished product tastes like meat that has been stored in a warehouse for months, producing flavors that no amount of seasoning can cover, the Angus beef claim is rendered meaningless. Since the texture is always described as chewy and harsh, it is likely that the Angus meat being utilized has undergone processing that eliminates the suppleness that makes Angus cattle so appealing. You're purchasing beef that has been processed into submission at a premium price. The outcomes of the cooking are especially poor. It takes a lot of jaw effort to chew these burgers because they shrink significantly and get harder as they cook. Cooking amplifies the gamey flavor to the point where it is nearly inedible to anyone with working taste senses. Despite the premium Angus stance, Tasting Tables notably pointed out the rough texture and stale beef taste that made these burgers a bad choice. It's not quality when your pricey meat tastes gamey and stale. Under the cover of premium branding, that is corporate cost-cutting. Walmart is selling subpar frozen patties at exorbitant costs by taking advantage of the reputation of Angus beef. Even if the actual product tastes like it has been sitting in freezer burn for years, they are wagering that consumers will assume that Angus denotes quality. Holton's markets their Chop House brand as high-end frozen burgers that are meant to mimic the popular burgers that have taken over American dining establishments. With patties made especially for the smash technique, which produces crispy edges and juicy interiors, the packaging promises restaurant-quality results. This is the quintessential frozen burger catastrophe. These were ranked bottom out of all the frozen burger options by the Daily Meal, which described them as slimy, mushy, and prone to crumbling while cooking. It's not just bad execution when your smash burgers don't hold up during the crushing process. It's a serious product failure. When you try to crush the patties on a hot griddle, they actually fall apart due to the excessive amount of water and binding ingredients they contain. They produce a liquid slop that spreads across the frying surface like beef-flavored soup rather than crunchy edges. Despite being billed as restaurant-style burgers, the flavor is said to lack spice. Customers claim needing a lot of salt and pepper to make the beef taste acceptable because it is so weak and watery, indicating that these patties include more water and fillers than real beef. Its slimy feel is especially repulsive. Instead of feeling like well-formed burger patties, these patties have the texture of uncooked ground beef combined with gelatin. The cooking method only produces hot, sticky discs that don't resemble real burgers. It doesn't enhance the texture. Holton's is taking advantage of the popularity of smash burgers to sell frozen patties that are essentially flawed and incapable of fulfilling their primary purpose. Instead of asking why restaurant-style burgers crumble when you attempt to cook them that way, they are wagering that patrons would point the finger at their cooking method. Some businesses genuinely recognize that beef, not water and additives, should be the flavor of frozen burgers. If you're sick of hockey puck patties, hit the subscribe button and let's move on to the grill's top stars. Great Value's frozen patties stand out because they don't overcomplicate a product that ought to be straightforward. Great Value maintains the fundamentals, whereas high-end products add natural flavors, fillers, and binding agents. Patties made from 85% lean ground beef were frozen. The Daily Meal's comprehensive taste test gave these patties high marks for emulating homemade texture and providing authentic beef flavor at an affordable price. The ideal balance between taste and healthfulness is produced by the 85 to 15 fat ratio. Not so much that you're eating oil patties, but just enough fat for flavor and juiciness. The typical frozen food shortcuts that degrade beef quality are what they're not doing. No chemical preservatives that artificially enhance flavors, no binding chemicals that provide fake textures, and no water injection to add weight. The cooking outcomes are always dependable. These patties don't shrink into hockey pucks while cooking, hold together, and get the right amount of browning. Without being overpowered by artificial flavors or processing chemicals, the meat flavor is evident. A bag of 8 quarter-pound patties costs about $8 to $10, which is a great deal for frozen burgers that taste like real beef. Families that want good burgers without shelling out top dollar for top-notch letdown can afford these because of their pricing point. Great value demonstrates that when businesses concentrate on executing the fundamentals correctly, rather than aiming for premium positioning with subpar execution, being economical need not equate to poor quality. Since 1999, Bubba Burger has been refining frozen patties, and its reputation has been built on a straightforward pledge. Not processed meat items with a false sense of authenticity, but burgers that actually taste like burgers. Their original patties are a perfect example of how to make frozen burgers. High-quality beef with little processing and reliable outcomes. According to a thorough review by Takeout, Bubba Burger is a tried-and-true classic with a texture that is almost faultless and tastes like homemade burgers. It's not a coincidence. Instead of using fillers and binding agents that ruin the texture of less expensive options, Bubba utilizes chuck beef that has the proper amount of fat and shapes it into patties. Frozen burgers should have the cooking outcomes. The patties stay together while cooking, have the right amount of browning and crust, and stay juicy without being greasy. There are no chemical aftertastes or artificial enhancements, and the meat flavor is strong and authentic. Bubba stands out because they recognize that being frozen need not equate to being less than. The texture and flavor that are lost in highly processed alternatives are preserved because their patties are created from freshly ground beef that is shaped and frozen right away. Because Bubba Burgers routinely produce restaurant-quality results without the high rates charged by boutique frozen food brands, the brand has established a cult following among home cooks. Bubba is regularly rated as one of the best frozen burger options by numerous taste tests. A package of 6 quarter-pound patties costs about $12 to $15, which is more than budget options, but you get genuinely excellent quality that consistently performs well and tastes like real beef, making the expense worthwhile. Bubba demonstrates that when businesses put quality meat and appropriate processing ahead of cost-cutting and artificial enhancement, frozen burgers can be delicious. The most startling success story in frozen burger history is Aldi's Cattleman's Ranch Black Angus patties. The house brand of this bargain grocery shop has routinely outperformed premium competitors in taste tests, demonstrating that when businesses prioritize real quality, great frozen burgers don't need premium costs. Cattleman's Ranch was named the winner of Tasting Table's extensive assessment of frozen burgers, pointing out that these patties have a strong beef flavor that rivals fresh ground alternatives and tastes like fresh ground burgers with flawless char. Cheaper meat just cannot compete with the exceptional marbling and flavor complexity that Black Angus cattle offers. The patties are made from premium Angus beef and don't contain the fillers, water injection, or finding agents found in most frozen burger brands. Burgers that cook like fresh ground beef are the end product. They produce the right crust, keep their juiciness, and provide real beef flavor without the use of artificial additives. The cost of this win is what makes it even more remarkable. Although Cattleman's Ranch patties have a better taste and texture than national brand competitors, they are usually less expensive. Aldi's business strategy eliminates marketing expenses and ostentatious packaging, enabling them to provide top quality at affordable pricing. Regardless of the preparation method used, the cooking results are always outstanding. These patties develop the right browning and retain their structural integrity throughout the cooking process, whether they are cooked on grills, griddles, or cast iron pans. The best complement to any frozen burger product is fresh ground beef patties, which these burgers are identical to, according to several taste tests. These patties are truly gratifying, because of the marbling and richness of flavor that come from the black Angus meat. Cattleman's Ranch demonstrates that the best frozen burgers are produced by businesses that put beef quality ahead of marketing expenditures, and that bargain stores may produce high-quality products by concentrating on the essentials rather than ostentatious branding. The most unexpected success story in the history of frozen burgers is Costco's Kirkland Signature Frozen Patties. The house brand of this warehouse club has routinely outperformed premium competitors in taste tests, demonstrating that when businesses prioritize real beef quality, great frozen burgers don't need boutique branding. Customers say Kirkland's frozen burgers taste more like fresh ground beef than processed frozen patties, and they are often ranked among the best in Food and Wine's extensive frozen burger rating. Cheaper meat just cannot equal the exceptional marbling and flavor complexity of 1/3 pound Angus beef patties. Kirkland stands out for its dedication to using high-quality ingredients with little processing. Unlike most frozen burger brands, these patties are made from real Angus beef without the use of additives, binding agents, or water injection. Burgers that cook like fresh ground beef are the end product. They produce the right crust, keep their juiciness, and taste like real meat. Regardless of the preparation method used, the cooking results are always outstanding. These patties brown properly and retain their structural integrity, whether they are cooked on grills, griddles, or cast iron pans. These burgers are almost identical to freshly ground beef patties, according to several taste testers. By removing marketing expenses and retail markup, Costco's business strategy enables them to provide premium Angus beef quality at warehouse club pricing. Restaurant-caliber patties are available at prices that allow families who otherwise couldn't afford them to enjoy premium frozen burgers. Kirkland demonstrates that businesses that put beef quality above profit margins produce the greatest frozen burgers, and that warehouse clubs may get superior outcomes by concentrating on the essentials rather than ostentatious branding. Companies who appreciate meat and those that take advantage of your supper are at odds in the frozen burger aisle. Every package you purchase is a vote for the type of food sector you choose to support, and your grocery budget is your weapon. Select burger firms that use high-quality meat, minimal processing, and ethical business practices. Steer clear of the corporate burger con artists who are trying to sell you water-injected cardboard under the pretext of convenience. Spongy patties that taste like library paste with a beef flavor are not good enough for your household. Reward the businesses that provide real burger quality by demanding it. If you want to learn more about what's actually in your freezer, hit subscribe. You may also leave a comment on the worst frozen burger mishap you've ever experienced. Keep eating wisely and fighting the good fight against processed food mediocrity until the next time. For more food rankings that resolve arguments you never realized you needed resolved, please leave a comment below and remember to like and subscribe. Thank you so much.